Ooh, how are we feeling? How are we feeling, man? Can I be honest with y'all? I feel sticky. Like I feel sticky, and not in a good way. Like not in a good way at all. Mainly because, of course, I'm just getting off work. Didn't have time to shower. As soon as I got off work, I was like, man, let me grocery shop. Let me get my life together first. And then I ran all the way over here. I had to run over here. Watched a whole lot of wrestling, and I have some opinions, of course. And of course, that's what the podcast is for. That's what the podcast is for. So that's why I always have to run, come skedaddling all over here. So thank you guys for popping on, tuning in. I'm trying to see if my audio sounds pretty good. Podcast is for. That's what the podcast is for. So that's why I always, I think it sounds pretty good so far. Just making sure we sounding good, feeling good, looking good as always. And even then, man, it's been a minute. It's only been like what 10 days. It's been 10 days since we last spoke, and still it's been too long. Absolutely too long. So we got should I start off with AEW? Yeah, I think we need to start off with AEW because AEW, honestly, I had nothing but like polite things to say about them. Like everything was honest. Like, I feel like everything was pretty, straightforward when it came to AEW. Like I felt like AEW was pretty, it wasn't, blowing, the roof off the place, but it still was pretty fire, for what it was. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, and give it, any type of harsh criticisms or anything like that, but they are slacking. It's like they definitely are slacking for sure. It's getting bad. And so I'm trying to also try to see what my sound effects are as well. But even outside of that, AEW, they were saying some absolutely crazy stuff yesterday. And I don't like to argue on online. I don't got time. If y'all want to argue with me, y'all got it. It's just like y'all just got it. You win at this point in time. There's no dog. I have no dog in the fight. At least not anymore. I did when people was just quick to criticize and get hot for no reason, but now, now everything's cool. Everything's cool, calm, and collected now. But I didn't even do the intro. Hello, all, and welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Jackson Jr. Jesus Christ, let me get my life together. And so, going into AEW now, matter of fact, let's just review the whole show. Let's just review AEW Dynamite, something I haven't done in quite a while. And mainly because I've been working on the Wednesdays as well. But this is the highlights after Redemption, of course, after AEW Redemption. Kenny Omega turned on Will Ospreay after pretty much Jon Moxley gave Will Ospreay the plastic bag. It was like, you know what to do, my brother. You see Bryan Danielson out there chilling in the back. I was like, Bryan Danielson out there chilling in the back, probably waiting to be on commentary at some point in time. We're going to do that to this brother here. It's like, this is how we going to treat Kenny Omega. We're going to put him in the back with Bryan Danielson. But Will Ospreay didn't want to do that. And Jon Moxley, of course, we saw the extra video footage of Jon Moxley pretty much going in the back and saying, hey, man, Will, you better do this. You got to turn on him before he turn on you. And damn it, he was 100% right. And, it doesn't really shock me at all. Huge shout out to the boss, the Redeemer, Justin. What's good, my guy? What's good, brother, man? How's you living? I'm, you guys good for Monday? You guys good for Monday by chance? I'm free Monday for sure. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I could definitely be here on a Monday. That's no problem. To Raw Dog it, or Wednesday, or next Wednesday too. If you guys are free, I'll definitely love to hop on with you guys at some point in time. And before I even start, talking about hopping on with them, huge shout out to Justin. Huge shout out to the notorious Dom out there, a Circle of Debate. Of course, the devious one, Ivan. Just a huge family. TK, just like the legends. Get Yo that we saw last night. Oh man, that was a huge surprise. I love Just, man. Just a dog. It's just like Circle of Debate. It's just a great community, a great family that talks about wrestling and can get you involved, with all the wrestling news. And it's a whole lot of fun as well. They don't shy away from newcomers, and they don't shy away from people that are also getting the intro into wrestling as well. So tune in to Circle of Debate, subscribe to Circle of Debate, and subscribe to Justin as well. You will see Justin absolutely anywhere. If you watch wrestling podcasts, I'm pretty sure you've seen Justin somewhere. You've seen Justin somewhere. Like he is like the underground hero in like the YouTube podcasting and wrestling podcasting. So huge shout out to Justin, the boss, the Redeemer. A whole lot of love to the man over there, to the man over east, as well as Circle of Debate. and those boys. Say no more. We got you. Huge shout out to Justin, even for both if you want. Man, say no more. Say no more. I'm trying to get more active as well. I'm trying to clear out a little bitty schedule. I had it written down somewhere, but I don't live here anymore. So it's just like I can't it's probably at the apartment. But we're gonna get this right. Outside of that, man, Kenny Omega. Oh, we talking about Kenny. Yeah, Kenny Omega, man. Can't believe this dude. But, and I wish, and I'm not, this isn't me dissing Kenny Omega because I do like Kenny Omega as a wrestler. I just wish I saw him long enough to be able to put him as one of my GOATs. Because to hear like Kevin Knight and every other AEW fan and AEW wrestler talk about the GOAT that is Kenny Omega, the legend that is Kenny Omega, I wish I had that feeling, of seeing Kenny Omega, in Japan, seeing Kenny Omega sometimes in the States. Hell, I saw Kenny Omega a little early on in AEW, and I still was just like, I didn't really care, and plus I was still hating on AEW a little bit early on, but I'm a fan of Kenny Omega. I just wish I had the chance to go through that journey that everybody else has had with Kenny Omega to be able to say that he is the GOAT or to be able to call him, the GOAT. I just haven't had that experience. I do think Kenny Omega is a great wrestler, so I don't doubt it. If somebody says Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler of all time, I'm not gonna kick or scream at that, because I didn't see 70% of Kenny Omega's career. So I find it hard to critique Kenny Omega as, the greatest wrestler of all time because I haven't seen it. I haven't had that experience of watching Kenny Omega. So I will at some point, I will talk about it. We will talk about it at some point. Huge shout out to Justin. Haven't done as much traveling as I used to. Oh, bro, that's no problem as well. Hey, I'm trying to put up a schedule. When I put up this schedule, my brother, if you are happy to slide on whenever you want, I promise you. Like it was like that. That's no problem at all. Right now, I'm not in a rush. I just got work in not necessarily 30 minutes, about 45, because I'm usually be rushing. And my work, I literally work 5 minutes away. I could walk, it's like if I wanted to. But so that's why sometimes I run in here. I'm like, man, at least let me get my piece. Like at least let me say my piece. Let me put it out there in the world, into the ether, get it out my chest, get it out my system, and then I can go on with my day type deal. Huge shout out to Justin. I'm probably on the other side of the fence. That's just not a fan of the whole Omega and Ospreay build. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I feel like it started off really, really weird when, Jon Moxley got into the fray of, getting into Will Ospreay's ear and then all of them teaming up. And it's like, didn't you try to kill? It's like, didn't Jon Moxley try to kill Will Ospreay, trying to end his career, trying to break his neck? It's just like, why are you friends again? Why is this tandem happening? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And of course, Kenny Omega, and I feel like this is stuff that, there's a whole lot of stories that have been told between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Hell, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe for like the beginning of their journey, people actually thought they hated each other. I remember seeing the viral clip of Will Ospreay hitting I forgot which wrestler. I believe this is a wrestler that I may know, but of course at the time I didn't. But Will Ospreay hit a wrestler with a one-winged angel, and he let him kick out. And Will Ospreay's like fake freaking out. And Kenny Omega was just like, yeah, I don't get it. Like he retweeted it and was just like, yeah, I just don't get it. And at the time, I was just like, do they really like not fuck with each other? Like, is this a problem that they have between each other? Like, and huge shout out to Justin. I'm all in for that. Oh yeah, bro, all in. Hey, oh, that reminds me. I got an email. I want to send out an email to see if we could get into a certain pay-per-view to see if we could do some journalistic work, because I really would love to. I think it'd be great work, and I gotta send out an email like tomorrow. Like it's like I gotta send an email out like tomorrow to see if I can get in and get involved, and I'll definitely let you guys know when I will. So but yeah, still, and a huge shout out to AEW as well, because they're really so graceful. It's like when it comes to just sending out emails, you can ask for the smallest thing and they make it like, they give it to you with a snap of a finger. Now, WWE's corporation, they're huge, all that and so on and so forth. Just like AEW, they're in the early stages. Yeah, I won't necessarily call them a vet, but still early stages. WWE is true. It's just like they don't think about early stages. AEW, for as much money as they have, yeah, this is still the early stages. They're gonna be here around for about 20 plus years. I think so. And so just looking at this whole thing and watching AEW, the way they treat not only content creators but journalists and so on and so forth, they just welcome everybody with open arms. And I love AEW for that. Like, I gotta give them a whole lot of credit. And the matches they put on when you do go in, top tier, man. Top, you can't go wrong with them at all, man. But I do gotta agree with Justin though. He's probably on the other side of the fence that he's not just a fan of the whole Omega and Ospreay build. I can agree with that. I definitely can agree with that as well. Because and they have had better stories told. I feel like they could have done a whole lot more. But of course, Will Ospreay, he's walking alone. He won't back down. What was that back of the barnyard in the movie? He's walking alone right now. But a match that I actually crapped on, but I actually thought was pretty good, was Andrade, Nick Wayne, and Jack Perry. Because I like 2 out of the 3 guys. I like 2 out of the 3. But honestly, I love Andrade. Andrade's finally, I won't necessarily say he's finally getting over, because, I feel like he's always had some sort of fanfare. I feel like there's always been some sort of love for Andrade. But now, he has a little catchphrase, it's like now he's looking good. Now everything's bright and sunshiny. AEW national champion. And it was still a great match. It was really fast paced. I was actually pretty impressed with one of the guys I was hating on, Jack Perry. And so, huge shout out to Andrade. Glad he's finally getting some huge shine. Brian Cage. Look, I don't really root for guys to get fired, but can he work somewhere else? Like, can that man work somewhere else? Like, at this point in time, like, Brian Cage is hot dog water. Hot dog water. The F5 is somewhat decent, but oh my goodness. Like, watching him wrestle hurts. Like, and not even in a good way, like, oh, it hurts, like everything he does hurts. Not like he'll catch a forearm off the apron, and it's just like, let me just get back on the rope here. Act like nothing. Like, he sells nothing. Like, everything just is trash to me. Like, and I don't mean to be a Brian Cage hater. Like I said, I'm not rooting for nobody to get fired, but I'm still rooting for him to have a paycheck. It's just like, I just want him to work somewhere else, because Jesus Christ, brother, you are cheeks. Jack Doyle was dope though. I do like me some Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle is just like that farmer. He just got that farmer build. Just hard style, rough style. Love it. And of course, you can't go wrong with Kyle Fletcher. I love Don Callis family. I could pick that apart and talk about what I like and don't like. But you got to give a whole lot of love to Kyle Fletcher and Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle, I think, is an absolute dog. But they took on Speedball Mike Bailey and Bro Dito. Of course, you can't go wrong with Bro Dito at all. But still, also a fun match as well. I did like the I don't want to call it the ending, but that's what it was. I was like, I do like how the match ended pretty much, when you had Speedball Mike Bailey going for the pin, and as soon as the referee counts 3, he gets hyped and he looks over, and it's just Kyle Fletcher just staring at him, and they just pretty much just lock eyes on each other, because look, Speedball Mike Bailey think he might have Kyle Fletcher, but Kyle Fletcher, I'm rooting for you the long way. Please be Speedball Mike Bailey. I'm a Speedball hater. I'm a Speedball hater. I can't stand Speedball Mike Bailey. Get him out of here with the quickness. Huge shout out to Justin. Still crazy that how is as over as it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. As soon as he said, I got one question, they went nuts. Like, they went nuts. And that, you got to give it to Andrade. You think, quick question. You think Charlotte be saying that? You think Charlotte say that? You think Charlotte use that catchphrase at some point? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Okay, I'm sorry. That was out of pocket. I didn't mean that. Okay. Oh man, huge shout out to the Brawling Birds. Oh, I was trying to make a joke during Circle of Debate, because Persephone came out And then Maya World came out. I was like, man, I don't even know who Jamie Hayter is. I was like, who is this lady? I was like, I done forgot. I was like, my memory has just been, my memory is just a little foggy. I was like, who is Jamie Hayter? All I see is Persephone. In a Maya World. Jesus Christ. Man, I'm getting hot just thinking it's the light. It's obviously it's the light, of course, but man, Jesus. Whew, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I love it. I'll talk about that later. As a matter of fact, can I talk about it now? Yeah, I'll talk about it now. Maya World took on Persephone, man, and look, I love this. Like, and Maya World, we don't have to keep bringing up the fact that Tegan Knox and her wife, left AEW, and then Maya World and her tag partner got the opportunity that they got that they deserved, but we don't have to keep bringing that up, but man, ain't that a blessing? It's like, ain't that a blessing? Like, they got the chance to show out, and Maya World has been showing out in a huge way, man. I do think her championship match with Hikaru Shida was a bit much, because Hikaru Shida was beating her ass. Like, she was beating the brakes off of Maya World, landing her on her head. She was doing her dirty. And Maya World still was able to get the win. I was like, okay, you getting destroyed here. I was like, Hikaru Shida was putting belt to ass on Maya World, and Maya World was still able to get the win. I was like, cool. He was shout out to Justin. Persephone got me feeling some type of way. You can tell your boy is mostly into Latina. So I'm telling you, hey, Persephone versus Stephanie Vaquera. Who you got? You got to answer this. I can just see that being in like Justin's nightmares. It's just like, Justin, it's like Persephone and Stephanie Vaquera like in the corner, like, Justin, you have to pick now. Pick now. They're screaming. It's like, while Justin's in the middle. Leave me alone. It's like that type of deal. Like, oh my God. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Justin. I took this on a whole nother turn. I'm sorry. Like, this took a whole life of its own type deal. But no, I agree, man. Persephone, I think she does it. She can do it all. Like, she's super athletic. She's strong. I was trying to find like a perfect comparison to her, but I can't. I think she could be a whole different animal. I think she can be more athletic because they're both young. Her, Persephone, and Maya World, they're both young. So I think Persephone can be more athletic than Beth Phoenix can be, as she has the build. Ooh, huge shout out to Justin. Can't pick anybody over Stephanie. She's wifey. Look, Justin, did you see the cosplayer? That was cosplaying as Stephanie Vaquera, the one that Stephanie Vaquera went up and hugged? That's all I'm going to say. But did you see it? Did you see it? Because look, I saw it. You know what else I saw? Ass. That was all I saw. That was all I saw. Okay, I'm sorry. That's okay. It's been too long. I'm sorry. I gotta stop. I forgot. I added my boss, man. I added up my boss on Facebook, and now I shared this. She gonna be on me. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get to it. But yeah, Maya World, super athletic, super athletic. It's just like, I feel like she could do it all in terms of she can be aerial. She can be in terms of aerial assault. Just can do damage in the air. Super athletic. It's kind of like she could be like a spider on you. It's like she could be like kind of like a spider on you. In more ways than one. I can see it being like a AJ Lee with it, in a way. So it's just like, that might be a horrible comparison right now, but that's just how I'm seeing it. That's just how I'm, quarterback calling it right now. So, and obviously that's going to change as I continue to stream and go live. But man, I love them too. I didn't care who won that match. I was like, man. I was just like, Tony Khan, you got to give this at least 10 more minutes. Tony Khan, you got to give this like 10 more minutes, right? He's shout out to Justin, bro. Jaw completely on the floor. So much. Like, for real. Oh my goodness. That was, yeah. It was, I was floored. Because at first I thought it was actually Stephanie Vaquera. Then I saw Stephanie go up and hug her. I was like, whoa. Well, I was like, man, it's like the two Spider-Mans like looking at each other. I was like, Jesus Christ. Oh man, now I'm getting hot just thinking about it, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done. Let me stop. I gotta stop. Okay. I didn't want to argue with some dude on Twitter, and I ain't even gonna insult him because I didn't look at his profile picture. But the Young Bucks and Cope and Cage had a sit down, and they coined this as like a dream match. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but like, a dream match for who? I was like, a dream match for who? I was like, Cope and Cage is like 60. I'm sorry, that was bogus. I didn't mean to say that. Cope and Cage are in their 40s. It's like Cope and Cage. This isn't Edge and Christian, of back in the day, WWE style. This is an older style Edge and Christian, Cope and Cage. We're not gonna get a ragtag style Edge and Christian that we're gonna get, back in 01, back in the 2000s, early 2000s. So it's not gonna be as athletic or it's not as fast as we expect it to be. So, I mean, same with the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks aren't no spring chickens either. And on the flip side, I mean, and this is just me speaking, they suck. I was just like, they suck. I was just like, that's just me. But like, honestly, I'm not watching this. I'm not now. Let me stop lying. I will watch it, but I don't care for this. I don't care for this. This isn't a dream match. Like, these are four guys that are not as quick as they used to be, and on top of that, I don't even put the Young Bucks up there. I was just talking about how I haven't watched Kenny Omega's entire career to not judge him. I've seen clips of the Young Bucks for years, and I've known for years that I wouldn't like these guys in terms of wrestling. I don't care about what they do. I've never met them personally, so I don't care about them personally. But no, no, I don't put them as, like, I can still say I haven't, like, I've watched Young Bucks matches. I've been watching Young Bucks matches since AEW started because I ain't gonna lie. Look, okay, I can admit, early stages, I was hate watching. I was hate watching. I had to see, what was going on. So I didn't like fully watch AEW. I was just starting to listen to Jim Cornette. I'm like, okay, these guys doing some crazy stuff. Let me at least watch the full match instead of what Jim Cornette talking about. Watch the full match. It's still trash to me. So it's just like, I don't care about what the Young Bucks got going on. I can still look at a Kenny Omega match and be like, man, he still got it going on. Man, that's still some fire, in his veins, even after everything that he's gone through. Young Bucks, man, y'all can get the hell up out of here. I can't, that's, but that's, like I said, that's just me. That's just me. That's just how I feel about the Young Bucks. I don't hold them as high as that at all. Huge shout out to Justin. No lies there. Who actually has Copeland and Christian versus the Young Bucks as a dream match? Who does? Who has Copeland and Christian versus the Young Bucks as a dream match? Nobody. Well, besides this dude on Twitter that had to comment on my tweet, which is just stupid. It's just setting up the Young. Don't say that. It's just setting up the Young Bucks to win. They've already beaten the Hardys before, as well as the Dudleys. It's just to push a narrative that the Bucks are the greatest tag team ever. Which who thinks that? Who thinks the Young Bucks are the greatest tag team ever? No. What have you? No. I can't think of one okay, now, like I said, I haven't fully watched a full career of the Young Bucks, so I can't really sit here and say I haven't watched a Young Bucks match and thought this was. Everything that I've watched from the Young Bucks have been AEW, and still, even with that, I still think I haven't seen a great Young Bucks match yet. Trios, freaking tag team, because everything is the freaking same old. It's kind of like how I felt about Randy Orton back in like 2012, 2013 when he kept fighting Sheamus and all they kept doing was headlocks. And it's just like, brother, like, do something else. It was just headlocks, like this little spinning slam that he does. I forgot what it's called. But it was just the same old thing over and over again. In the words of Roman Reigns, it was like missionary position. It's just like Randy Orton was so boring to me in the early 2010s. Before, after he shaved his head and, he got a little bit better and healthier and, we started seeing him a lot more often. I think this is a little bit after the back surgery, before he got, before he injured his back again. But even then, like, when Randy Orton was going back and forth with Sheamus, I believe it was like 2012, 2013, around that time, like, it was just, oh my goodness, it was boring. And that's how I feel about the Young Bucks. Huge shout out to Justin. In my honest opinion, the Bucks are a great tag team, but I would never call them the greatest tag team ever. I do think they suck, But do I think they have a place in wrestling? Yes. Yes. I'm not gonna say that they need to hang it up right now and get out my face. Well, I do think they need to get out my face. But it's like I don't think they need to hang it up. I don't think they need to retire. I don't even think they need to, stop wrestling or anything like that. I just don't tout them as highly as they think they are. It's like they think they're like God's gift. And you can see it in the books. You can see it in the way they talk about themselves. You can see it in the way they talk about the company. Okay, maybe I am talking about them outside of wrestling, but still, it's just like that. I can just give you instance after instance as to and I'm not even talking about the CM Punk situation. Me being a CM Punk fan, it's like, well, this is even outside of the CM Punk situation. Like, it's just like they haven't really stuck out to me as some like a team I can just watch wholeheartedly and be a fan of. They're the young Bucks are just a team I just can't get behind. Everything is just same old to me. It's kind of like how it's kind of like how a lot of people are souring on Jey Uso. A lot of people soured on Jey Uso. It's kind of how I've been feeling about the Young Bucks ever since I've been watching AEW. And so that's just my thought process. That's how I feel. I'm just not. I look at Cope and Cage and the Bucks, and I think it's a solid tag team match. Dream match, that you're stretching that a little bit too. You're stretching that a little bit too much. I don't think. I think you're crazy. Yeah. No, let me stop. I ain't gonna say that. But yeah, to call that a dream match, I think that's a little nuts. I think that's crazy. But I had to get that off my chest. I had to get that off my chest. Huge shout out to Will. Oh man, and let's talk about Willow Nightingale. It's like let's talk about Willow Nightingale, man. I love me some Willow. Now, the only problem is there's a train in the way, a Monet train. And honestly, even though I'm gonna like this feud, please let Willow Nightingale retain the AEW Women's Championship. You cannot have her drop this title to Mercedes Moné. That shouldn't happen. No. No, that shouldn't happen, none whatsoever. Willow Nightingale has worked too hard. She is just absolutely too fire, to have a short title reign at that. Even Chris Statlander, I thought, had a short title reign, and she didn't deserve that. Willow Nightingale, I don't want her to get that treatment. I don't want her to get the Chris Statlander treatment. And I'm not saying Chris Statlander just got absolutely disrespected. I'm just saying that Chris Statlander could have held that title for a whole lot longer. Hell, I even think Tekla could have held that title for a whole lot longer. But Willow Nightingale holding it, I want to see a lengthy title reign. We're not seeing lengthy title reigns anymore. Like, what the hell's happening? You're looking at the AEW championship. You're looking at the AEW Women's Championship as well. You move over to WWE, they're playing flip-flop as well. Sami Zayn winning it one day. Of course, he has to drop it the very next to CM Punk. It's just like, what's up? Why can't we hold these belts? Like, what's going on here? So that's just one thing that was on my mind for a minute. But Willow Nightingale got absolutely interrupted by, what's good? This got to be the devious one. Ivan, what's good, my brother? Happy Thursday. I hope everything's good with you, brother, man. I actually got to go to work after this. And when I go to work, I'm going to order me some B-dubs. Man. I got to get the boneless wings. Half off. It's the BOGO today. It's like, so it's always a happy Thursday when you go to B-dubs. And it's payday. Woo! I might get 16. 16, carry the 1. Is that 32? I'm gonna get 32 boneless wings today. It's like, and only eat, I ain't even gonna eat half. I'll probably eat 12. It's like I'll probably eat 12 and probably just save the rest for later, put in my air fryer that I just got. Now that I'm an air fryer guy now. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm talking too much. Huge shout out to Justin. I honestly feel like after everything she did to get Willow to this spot, I don't see her getting the transitional championship treatment. Exactly. I really hope she doesn't. She doesn't deserve that, none whatsoever. She worked hard. Willow had the real grind. It's like Willow Nightingale had the real grind. We all seen it. And man, I love to see her. It's just like, I love to see. I just thought she should have swung on Mercedes Moné earlier. Because Mercedes Moné was all in her face. I thought she muffed her. I was like, bro, you gotta do something. Fight back. Please. But it just wasn't happening. And John Moxley took on Commander. Look. I'm not gonna blame John Moxley for what y'all know. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. John Moxley. He's sitting on a barricade. Commander rolls into the ring. John Moxley, and as Commander is about to sky high, about to do an aerial assault, about to fly, John Moxley slides into the ring, get into position. I think he hit a 450 splash, Commander. But he splashes. I mean, I think we can watch it. I think we can watch it without getting in trouble for a split second. You think we can? Let's see. I'm gonna watch it for 2 seconds. Let's see if I can just flashbang it for like 2 seconds. Because me explaining it is gonna be a little hard. Okay. No. Don't play the no. Please don't play the audio. I'm begging you. Here's a. I'm begging you. Please don't play the audio. Okay. Okay. This is 11 seconds. I think I should be fine. Tony Khan, please spare me. I ain't do nothing. Here it goes. This is crazy. So John Moxley slides in. Look at that. Just gets right into position. Okay, let me get out of here for Tony Khan gets at me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, as soon as you see that, you're just like, oh, that ain't John Moxley's fault. That ain't John Moxley. Like, when you're watching it live, okay, you're just like, what the hell? Like, damn it. You know, I was like, this is stupid. That's something that if you're watching it on TV, that's cold. You know, that you're watching it, it's pretty cool. But you're just like, damn it. The director screwed you, John. The director screwed you big time, man. But still a solid match. I thought it had some fun spots. And of course, I didn't expect John Moxley to just come through and just get absolutely blitzed and destroyed. You know, that was the last thing I thought. So, of course, John Moxley ended up getting the win, of course, as dominant as he is. Then you had the conglomeration taking on the Demand. And the Demand finally get the win and become the Trios champion as well. We got 4 title matches in this show, which I thought was actually pretty cool. You know, it wasn't, like a pay-per-view. It wasn't anything themed. It was just, regular AEW Dynamite. And, these were matches, these were titles that weren't even defended even on the pay-per-view. So I thought that's smooth. You got to give that to AEW, especially for AEW Dynamite. They actually pulled through. And I'm not saying this was like a top tier, just out of this world style AEW Dynamite, but it was solid. I thought it was solid. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5. I have fun watching it. I definitely have fun watching it, so I can't complain one bit. I can't complain one bit. But switch it over to WWE, going across the pond. They messing up, man. They messing up. What are they doing, man? Why? When did Raw? I remember there was a point in time Raw was actually becoming fun to watch. When did Raw start becoming an eyesore, man? Raw is starting to become unbearable, brother. Like, damn. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, it's getting on my last nerves, honestly. And so, what is this? Oh, is this Collision? Motor City Machine Guns are all elite. Welcome home, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. This is on AEW Collision. Oh, really? Okay. There it goes. Hold on, I gotta just flashbang this up here. But look at that. Motor City Machine Guns are all elite. Welcome home, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Watch it again. If I'm not for the promo you, Tony Khan. Huge shout out to GPW, the boys, Glory Pro Wrestling. Boys, wake up, the Ghost live. And he says, totally agree, dog. Huge shout out to you, brother, man. Well, as you can see, there's still the reaction to the Motor City Machine Guns. And actually, we are going to fit you guys into the schedule. That's what I wanted to actually talk about as well. I was talking about putting the schedule because I got my work schedules, for both jobs. So I was like, okay, I can find some time to stream. And I'm actually trying to fit Glory Pro Wrestling into that. So I do want to start streaming Glory Pro Wrestling events. So like, if there's a promo that dropped or if there's like, pay-per-views or premium live events, or obviously events that Glory Pro Wrestling put on, I wanted to actually just watch. Now, it might not be day of, but it might be like, a couple days afterwards where I just go live, watch the videos and just react and, also talk about you guys because it was a whole lot of fun. Oh my goodness, we had a fun ass time. Where is Astronaut, he had us cracking up, and it was fun to watch. Like the watch party was top tier, so I definitely wanted to fit you guys into the heel turn schedule and have so fun watching you guys' content. And also, look, man, the Carbon Knights got to stick together, man. The Carbon Knights got to look. We holding it down strong over here. So, man, we a whole lot of love to Glory Pro Wrestling. Give those boys a shout out. Actually, I'll see if I can go live tomorrow. If I go live tomorrow, I'll see if I can watch some Glory Pro Wrestling. Like, that's no problem. Like, that's like smooth. That's like easy. It's just like, oh, huge shout out to Glory Pro Wrestling. Appreciate that so much, dude. That'd be great. Yeah, 100%, man. I gotta let you, and I'll let you know when. I'll probably tag you guys in the episode as well to keep you guys in the loop as well. And so going into WWE, because I do gotta dip in like about 10 minutes because I got work. But Joe Hendry, I'm sorry, man. I'm sick of I don't believe in you no more. Joe Hendry, I'm sorry. I don't believe in you no more. I'm sick of you. Danhausen, you good. I ain't got no problem with Danhausen. Danhausen's still funny. You getting into the NBA. You can still, you're relevant in pop culture, or can be relevant in pop culture, depending on how big you get, or bigger you get, pause. But still, Danhausen can do some damage. Joe Hendry, I'm sick of you. Get him out of here. Joe Hendry, I'm sick of you. Get him out of here, man. Like Joe Hendry, I'm sorry, man. Has Joe Hendry, if somebody asked me this question, has Joe Hendry put out a banger since he's been in WWE? No, I don't think so. His Logan Paul song, cheeks. This song with Danhausen, cheeks. Every time he grabs a guitar in his hand, cheeks. Just awful. He should be ashamed of himself. And I'm not even trying to be like, performative, like, brother, like, you're not The Rock. It's just like The Rock will have a guitar and a microphone in his hand, and he could give you 30 pause. He could give you 30 minutes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make that sound effect while saying he could give you 30 minutes. Boing boing. It's like I ain't trying to do all that, but still, it's just like he could give you some time, and it'll be hilarious. And he's freestyling. Joe Hendry, I'm pretty sure it took him 2 hours to write this song. And what is it? Hot garbage. That's what it is. It's hot garbage. So Joe Hendry, I'm sorry. I don't believe in you no more. You lost me. You lost me, Joe. I'm sorry. But outside of that, Raw was all right. Outside of that, Raw was pretty all right. No. Man, I needed that. Oh. Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka is no longer. Let me watch the delay for y'all get. Sorry, before I get clown down. Sol Ruka is no longer the IC champion, women's intercontinental champion. That title belongs to Raquel Rodriguez. She won the title from Sol Ruka. Bloody knows it all, and that's just so dirty, man. That is just so dirty. Like, I don't have a problem. I really don't have a problem with what's her name? I really don't have a problem with Raquel Rodriguez being champion. Like, I really don't. Oh, huge shout out to Circle of Debate. We really have to chat, my brother. I know your schedule is tough, my brother, but let me know, my brother. Oh, brother, I definitely will. I definitely will let you know. I actually will text you right after this, while on my way to B-Dubs. Can I order that right? No, I can't order that because I have to ship it out, and I don't think I'll beat it to the radio station. So, but yeah, no, we definitely should, and definitely will, because I'm gonna see if I can get some. I gotta see what's happening. I gotta see what's happening, because now there's some big plans that are coming up, and I'm praying. I'm just praying everything goes through, and if that does, that's more time, away from the podcast. So I'll definitely let you guys know 100%. But right now, things are looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty good. So things are moving pretty swimmingly. But Sol Ruka, Gatorade attacking me. Sol Ruka, she deserves a whole lot more. Somebody actually posted on Twitter, and I couldn't agree more. She was like, Becky Lynch don't even deserve this. Like, Becky Lynch keeps being called like Hulk Hogan and whatnot. She's putting these women wrestlers over, and WWE is doing nothing with them. Lyra Valkyria, she put over Lyra Valkyria. They did nothing with her. She put over AJ Lee. AJ Lee left. She put over Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka didn't hold the title for long. Maxine Dupree didn't hold the title for long. Like, damn. damn, like, what are we doing? Becky Lynch putting up all this work, and they can't even hold the title for long. It's just like, at least give Raquel, a long reign. At least do something with Raquel. At least give Raquel a long enough reign to where we can see some dysfunction in the Judgment Day, to where we can see Roxanne Perez take that title from her. Now, of course, it's going to be some Goliath versus David type of storyline, but I want to see it. Damn it, I want to see it. And Roxanne Perez, Debo snatched that IC title away from her. But right now, I'm happy Raquel Rodriguez got the title. I'm happy that Raquel Rodriguez, can move forward with the title in hand. But Sol Ruca doesn't deserve that. Sol Ruca doesn't deserve that at all. And they're still doing these NXT they're still doing these NXT call-ups dirty. I still think they're doing Carmelo Hayes dirty. Trick Williams is, of course, reaping the benefits right now, but I mean, let's look at him, in the next 6 months. And hopefully he can, still shine with or without Lil Yachty. But damn it, we're still keeping Trick Williams' hopes alive. There's really not no hope for Tony. I don't think there's any hope for Tony D'Angelo. I don't see Tony D'Angelo doing much, in turn when he gets that call, because I think this roster is just absolutely stacked. It's packed, and man, it's like, where are you going to fit in at this point in time? I'm not even a fan of Grayson Waller, but him going off, I think it was justifiable. I think it was justifiable for sure. So yeah, I think Sol Ruca doesn't deserve that. Lyra Valkyria, she has a new gimmick. She's kind of on the what's that villain that comes out of the movie screens? She was the voice of Dora, but I forgot what her name. I forgot what was that. It's not The Conjuring. I don't know what movie that is. I'm not a horror movies guy. I watch cartoons. It's just like I watch cartoons and sports, and wrestling. That's all I got, and maybe Power. It's like, and maybe my little crime shows, but the crime shows, my little gangster movies, gangster shows. But outside of that, yeah, Sol Ruca, I hope there's something better for you, because they did you dirty on this one. They did you dirty completely. And then, I think that's all I got, because Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, they're just pretty much going to say and do the same old thing. They're running the same storyline that we have seen for about 10 to 20 years. It's just like 10 to 20 years, like they've been wrestling for 20 years. It's like they've been in WWE for 20 years. But it's stuff that we've seen already. It's like, we know why they don't like each other. Damn. Little brother, big brother. This is only for the simps that do this is just for this is just for the simps that love the Shield and don't want to let go of the Shield times. Like, this is just so trash to me. Like, and I'm not saying the storyline is trash. I'm just saying, like, we already know why you hate each other. Damn, like, y'all been fighting for I don't know how long. Like, at this point, I'm just waiting to see you guys just tussle at the pay-per-view, at the premium, at SummerSlam. Because honestly, what can you say to each other that hasn't been said already? Like, honestly. So that's all I got. Ooh, huge shout out to the Devious One. What's your take on Skippy's comments on Busted Open about us fans not taking it seriously on their creative? What? Hold on. I gotta see this. Busted Open. That is crazy. Busted Open creative. That's a crazy thing to put in a sentence. I was like, let me see. I gotta see this, because WWE takes over Sirius FM. Station fires critics. Let me see. Former WWE personality turned broadcaster Jonathan Coachman. Expand. Yeah, Jonathan Coachman. Nobody. Yeah, Jonathan Coachman. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Jonathan Coachman. Let me see. I gotta see this. Busted Open Radio's first big guest is Triple H. Triple H says, there it goes. Here it goes. Is this right here? Triple H says he wishes fans wouldn't criticize his booking, gets invested in stories instead. Let's see this. Let's see what you're talking about, Triple H. WWE's chief content officer doesn't understand why fans are more concerned with the behind-the-scenes aspect rather than the programming. Triple H now goes by Paul Levesque. Took speaking with Busted Open Radio, was asked about the criticism he faced recently. He suggests that fans should place their misguided passion towards investing in WWE superstars and their storylines rather than create the creative process. What? I wish sometimes we could put that passion into the talent now, as opposed to when somebody gets heat in our business, it's like, God, why would they write it in that way? what? As opposed to that no good piece of crap did this, there's something to say that innocence of not knowing and it still being real to me. What? It's hard to understand why Paul Levesque is so opposed to criticism of creative, given that he was the first to enjoy the success. Exactly. I gotta say that louder. Hold on. It's hard to understand why Paul Levesque is so opposed to criticism of creative, given that he was the first to enjoy the success and positive critical reception during the initial booming period. Exactly. So Trips, huge shout out to Glory Pro Wrestling. So Trips makes WWE unreal and tell fans not to worry about the creative process. Yeah, makes sense. Look, I love that this is the comment session. This is the chat of common sense. This is the chat of common sense here. Because it doesn't make sense. Like Triple H is just like, I don't understand why people get so hell bent into the behind the scenes of it. Because we can't get invested if you don't do your damn job. You know, it's like we can't get invested. Like, hold on, let me stop. Like, we can't get invested if you're treating LA Knight like dirt. If LA Knight can't get a meaningful push, if we keep seeing the same people over and over again, if we keep seeing boring storylines or storylines that just don't make sense, you know, or if things just keep getting rinsed and repeated. You know, it's just like WWE is really, really good at that. It's just the same thing over and over again. And so, yes, we have the right to be critical. We definitely have the right to be critical. So it's not just I can be upset that Danhausen and Joe Hendry are singing some crappy song, you know, in the middle of a wrestling segment. We can be upset at that and be mad at you guys for putting that bull crap out there. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, literally, that could have been a match happening. You know, that could have been a match happening. You know, it's just like there could have been something going on at this point in time. But like, come on now. That doesn't even make any sense. He used to work in the world in the NFL. Let me see.
That happens. You know, it's a funny.
I hope can you guys hear this?
Everybody knows now kind of what it is, and we open that, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. Man, but that's the thing. Triple H, I hate that people are just so scared to give us the right to criticize. You know, I was just like, I could have sworn we were able to criticize at some point in time. Like, and that's the thing. He was so geeked. He was so geeked when, you know, Cody Rhodes was finishing the story when Vince McMahon got the boot and Cody Rhodes was finishing his story and SmackDown was popping back again and Raw was huge and we were still getting a whole lot of action and the only person, and then Triple H was showing up and he was getting standing O's and whatnot. He was geeked about talking about creative. This is a new era. Oh yeah, it's a new era, all right. But now you want to change the subject. No, why is everybody getting so worked up about this? Why is everybody so worried about behind the scenes? Like you put that out there from the beginning. You know, hell, let's rewind this all the way back. Because you do care. I can think of a really, really perfect example when I came out. I forgot what grade I was in, but when I got out of school to go home to watch Raw, and I saw the McMahons, Triple H and Stephanie, they were just like, we hear the fans and we're going to give you what you want. This is going to be something different. We're going to get out the way. We're going to take a step back. You guys put behind the scenes business on air. You know, it's just like y'all put behind the scenes business on air before. And this is like 10, 12 years ago. So it's like, don't act like this is something new. You know, it's like, don't act like this is something that hasn't been, and he acts like there hasn't been forums. He acts like there hasn't been message boards and all that and so on and so forth back in the day before there was, you know, YouTube and Twitter, you know, and there was just forums, you know, and people were writing about their disdain for wrestling and what was going on in wrestling and Vince Russo and whatnot. He had to like this is like we were always voicing our opinion about behind the scenes stuff, or what was going on in people's personal lives, what was going on in the ring. That was just happening. So Triple H, man, you need to calm that down. Talking about some why people getting so worried. Yeah, don't act brand new, brother. You've been in the wrestling business for what, about 40 years, or as long as I've been born, for as long as I've been alive, and I'm 27 right now. So it's just like, come on, brother. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Triple H, you tripping. It's just like, yeah, you just like Devin Booker, man. I said it. You are just like Devin Booker. Let me tell you something. When Devin Booker wanted the praise, he was going to be at the press conference. He was going to be the first one to answer questions. But as soon as he lost, as soon as he saw a foreign man in a Mavs jersey look over and smile at him, he didn't want to be in the press conference. Devin Booker didn't want to show up and talk to the media. Nah. Here goes Frank Vogel for 2 seconds. It's like, because you ain't going to talk to Devin Booker. That's Triple H. Triple H want to talk about how hot creative is, how, but when we are feeling negative about something, we just got to enjoy the ride. We shouldn't think about, how everything is on the brighter side, on the other side of things, which is just stupid, man. Triple H tripping. He's tripping. Huge shout out to Glory Pro. Royce Keys is solo and LA Knight versus the Usos and Jacob Fatu is literally a 2K match. I swear I have made. Exactly, man. Exactly. And it's stupid. It's like, it is still stupid. It just makes no sense, not even at all remotely. Yeah, it's a waste. It's just a complete waste. And I'm late. I'm late for work. Before, look, if I'm already late, I might as well be even more late. Hold on. That's my mom. My mom told me that quote. If you're late, you might as well be even more late. Did you guys see the New Day's farewell, like the New Day's video? The New Day's video was really, really touching. It was so good. And they actually had a tribute to Big E. So I don't want to spoil it too much. I just want to show you guys the Big E tribute because it is so cool. Because the New Day, they're unicorns and they're trying to break off of the chains and they're running towards this evil entity, and they're in a circus. So they're running past, the ringmaster, supposed to be Triple H. And they're running to him and they run right past them. And as they're running right past them, they see another horse with a broken. Oh, you just got to see it. You just got to see it. Look at this. Because this is tough. Let me actually turn this down. Let me share my screen. But so Xavier Woods. Oh, look at that! Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are their own, unicorns. Escaping the circus, WWE, and they're walking past Big E, who's sitting there, of course, because he's staying in WWE. And look at this, run right past him. First one step, carry on. Ah, come on now. That's deep. That's deep. I was like, you know what, New Day, y'all got it. I was like, you know what, New Day, y'all got it for real, because that was genuine. That was super cool, and wherever they go, they're gonna be absolutely amazing. They're gonna be dogs, So I can't wait to see what they're gonna have in store for us. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a while since I've been on. It's been 10 days, but it's been a while since I've been on there. So, I thank you guys for joining in, tuning in. Huge shout out to Justin. Huge shout out to Glory Pro. Tune in to both channels. Justin will be on Circle of Debate. Of course, you can see Justin and the Devious One Ivan on Circle of Debate. Just a huge family, a great community that's going to welcome you in with open arms. And so, they go live every day. So you can just subscribe to them and wait till that. Turn your notification on. Don't even wait. Just turn the notification on because they'll tell you 30 minutes beforehand. I just pop on. It's just like they'll tell you 30 minutes beforehand. They'll get you ready. They'll get you prepared. Huge shout out to Justin. Huge shout out to the Devious One Ivan. Huge shout out to Glory Pro. You guys are just absolutely amazing. Love you, brothers. Oh, man. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time.